Hey everybody, I'm not sure how this video is going to turn out because I've got some songs queued up to play little snippets of, and I'm not going to do it for all the songs here. There's just too many. This is a response to Adam 87. He's a big fan of the 80s, and he wanted us to list our 20 favorite songs from the 80s. Well, this was something that's just impossible for me to do. As I was going through this exercise, I realized I could do 100 songs or more. Most of my favorite tastes of the 80s go from the 1980 to 85, really, although I had a lot from the late 80s too, so it's very difficult to do this. I'll tell you how I approached it for anybody who may be interested. What I decided to do was I looked back to my favorite times, some of my favorite days, and I've talked about this before. Maybe some people have heard this. The one year that was a big year for me was 1983. In 1983, I was 21, and I got my first car that I bought myself, and was going out to clubs and dating a lot of girls, and we had a big group of friends, and we used to go out. And this may seem a little boring, but I really need to say this story. It means a lot to me. Basically, the idea was that I remember it was New Year's Eve of 1982, and I just remember being someplace for New Year's Eve. We were out, and it was actually at a roller skating rink, and I was there with some friends, and I remember that it was getting to be the countdown to midnight for 1983 to start, and I remember thinking, I want this next year, 83, to be the best year of my life. I'm going to do everything, things I've never done before. I used to be a little shy about getting up there on the dance floor and dancing, and I said, I'm going to dance, I'm going to do everything. And that's what I did in 1983. And I remember the countdown of midnight. It just really counted down in the skating rink, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, and they got to New Year's midnight of 1983 beginning, and the first song they played was Michael Jackson's Don't Stop Till You Get Enough. And I remember thinking, that's going to be my motto for 1983, and by God, that's what I did. I had a year, no years in my life could match 1983, and the thing that always amuses me about this, and it's kind of amazing, is that it could have been any year that I chose to make a special year. It's just a coincidence that it happened to be 1983, and I say that because the music from 1983 was some of the best pop music that was out at the time. If you were going to go clubbing and you were going to be hanging out with friends, there was no better year to do it. And then later on, I picked up this CD. It's called Classic MTV. It's a Rhino CD, and it has 1983 songs on it. And I've read a little tiny portion. It's not long. It's only a line or two. But in the liner notes here, it said something that I've always been amazed with, and it sums up my feelings of what I'm trying to say, and it could have been something that I wrote myself. I could have penned this, okay? It says about, some stuff from the beginning. It says, we didn't think about, the Challenger 2, we hadn't yet thought about Oliver North, etc. Then it says, we thought about our cars, our friends, and nights out. And it says, if this generation could lay claim to, I don't know how to pronounce this, halcyon days, they would be the days of 1983. It's like, even this booklet says, we weren't thinking about all these problems. We were thinking about our friends, our cars, and nights out, which I did all the time at the clubs. And I like the part about, if this particular generation could have one year that was a special, year of comparable to the good old days, and especially it would be in 1983. It's just coincidence that happened to be. Now, I rambled on a lot here. Hopefully you know what I mean. So a lot of my choices here for my 20 favorite songs, and as I say, these are in no particular order. I have them written down in a pad here. I'm going to try to match up some music. I didn't do music for all of them. I basically, have some set up here on the screen, and I'm going to play a little bit and talk over most of it. Alright, the first one that I chose to do was Gary Newman, Cars. And now, that really came out in 1979, so it's kind of a cheat. But it also was a #1 hit, I believe, in Canada. I looked it up in 1980, and it carried over into 1980. The reason I love this song is it's so weird and so techno pop, but it also seems to set the stage for where music was going to be going in the 80s. It's like, to me, it's like the introduction to the 80s. It's where everything started. And we all know how it goes. I'll be talking over these, just want to give you a little feeling of it. I talk over it because I don't want to deal with third-party content, you know. So, I mean, 1979, perhaps. But this is this is the start of the 80s for me. Alright, so that's that one. And again, of the 20 picks that I have, I'm not going to be doing this for all of these. Okay, there just were too many to queue up here. Now this song, these are not in order, again, I'll say. These are not in any kind of order of favorites. Oh, sorry. No, something wrong. Hold on. Of course, I screwed it up already, and this is the problem with doing this. La la la. Trying to get rid of the Cars one. I don't know. Maybe you guys know how to do this better than I do. Alright, I got rid of Cars. I'm probably going to get this one in the middle of a vocal, but... It's Nena, 99 Red Balloons. The English version. Oh, 99 Love Balloons. You get goosebumps from this. Reminds me of youth. You know how this goes as it starts, you know. So, this is a favorite of mine from the 80s. This is the longer version that I picked here. So, 99 Red Balloons. Okay, the next one. Oh, this is a biggie, man. This is a biggie. You know, it was nothing like going to the clubs in 1983 and hearing this song everywhere and seeing people up on stage. I remember one particular time when it was a small little club, a little bar, and is anybody out there want to take a chance of coming up here and dancing to this song? It's a popular dance craze at the time, you know. And these two idiots got up there. They both had beers, these guys, in their hand, and they were trying to dance while drinking a beer, and they were falling down all over the place. Anyway, this is the song. Safety Dance. Men Without Hats. I really like this song. I notice a lot of these songs are all going to sound kind of familiar as I go along with this. You know, it's got the same kind of vocals, a lot of them, the deep kind of vocal. I noticed that about these. But anyway, you know the song. Safety Dance is really good. Brings back a lot of good memories. Now, I don't know how you can talk about the 80s, or 1983 in particular, without going by this particular song, which is another one of my favorites. It's Modern English. I Melt With You. It seems like this song was always in a lot of movies. I mean, you see this in a lot of films from the time. It's almost like the theme, in a way, of the 80s. I Melt With You. So that's that song. I'm going to have to speed this up a little bit because I know that it's going to be... how to get rid of this one. Okay, Modern English. Alright, the next song I'm going to talk about, I have a little story with this one. I remember going around MTV, back when MTV was really music television. I don't know what it's become since then. It's anything but music, and it's all kind of, they have shows and reality TV and stuff. But anyway, I remember seeing a video, this particular video, and the song wasn't popular, and I went to the record store and I found the 45 of this, and I said, "Does anybody hear this song? I really like this." No, nobody heard of it. Nobody heard of the artist. And then it became very popular, and I remember I really came to like it. And well, here's the song. It's Scandal doing Goodbye to You. I mean, I'm looking at the video now as I speak, seeing Patti Smythe doing, you know, bopping around. Well, it was great. But the good thing was, I remember I bought my first, it was a used car, really, and I had picked up the car, went to pay the cash, went to the guy's house. It was a Chevy Nova 1973, used, and I put on my car radio for the first time, and this song came on the radio. It was like meant to be. It was kismet, you know. Anyway, Hattie Smythe, The Scandal. Goodbye to You. I have like a few more lined up here. You know, I'm not gonna. Let's say I got 4 more, then I'm just gonna name the other songs. Let's hear this one. This is again got that 80s feel. It's Der Kommissar by After the Fire. You know, not the Falco one. You notice with 99 Red Balloons, I like the English ones that I can understand. So very big song at the time. Yeah, so these are among my favorites. Okay, moving along here. Another one from '83, In a Big Country. By Big Country. Big Country singing In a Big Country. You know, it's got that deep 80s voice singing In a Big Country. I could just play the songs and not all day, not even talk, but I have to do it because I want to talk over the I don't want it to register as third-party content. Alright. After I make this whole video, I may have to delete it if I get a third-party warning or something. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead a little bit. This goes ahead a couple of years. You know, most of what I like is the early 80s, but here's one that I like from, I think it's 85 into 86, maybe 86. Dead or Alive doing You Spin Me Round Like a Record. I really feel like getting up and dancing to this, but I'm not going to. Talk over it. These are the days. You know, we all have our youth. Okay, anyway, you get the feeling of it. Okay, that's it. I'm not going to show any more videos. There's a lot of songs here. I'm going to go fast and go through these titles. Hopefully you know them. Another one that I liked. Well, I picked I Love Rock and Roll from Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. I'm a Joan Jett fan, but you know, it's funny. These days, I'm not big on the song I Love Rock and Roll. I guess mainly because it got played out. It's a little overly familiar, and it doesn't hold that special appeal that it did at the time. I remember when I first heard it, that's what got me into being a Joan Jett fan. I Love Rock and Roll. Now it's like some kind of anthem, but it deserves to be on there. The Eurythmics, Sweet Dreams Are Made of This. Made of These. Sweet Dreams by the Eurythmics. Now I felt like during this period where I was going to the clubs, I mean, Michael Jackson was huge, and his Thriller album, which came out in '82, was really just taken off in '83 big time. And I could have picked Billie Jean, or I could have picked Beat It. Either one of those songs fit here. So Billie Jean or Beat It was huge. So that's another song. I picked Girls Just Want to Have Fun, Cyndi Lauper, which I think is a really good song. I like that whole album. She's so unusual. Another pick I put here at 12th choice, I picked Voices Carry. You know Voices Carry by Till Tuesday? That was one of my choices. Number 13, Don't You Want Me by the Human League. Yeah, it's a big song from that period in the 80s. For the 14th one here, I picked I Ran, or I Ran So Far Away by A Flock of Seagulls. You know, I mean, these really bring back memories. Alright, now, I wanted to pick Stevie Nicks. Stevie Nicks had like a really big song out during that great year of '83 that I liked, the song called Stand Back. But it was a toss-up for me between picking Stand Back or Edge of 17. I went with Edge of 17, giving it the edge. But both of those are great. Now, I wanted to pick a Madonna song because Adam loves Madonna. Now, you know what it is. It's Like a Virgin. I think that's my favorite Madonna song, and it is one of my favorite 80s songs. You know, I put it here in the top 20. You know, whether it would go in the top 20 or 30, I don't know. But I wanted to pick a Madonna song, and I really love that. Then there's stuff like the next couple of items here. They don't really fit the period that I'm talking about. But like I picked a Tom Petty song, "You Got Lucky," which is one of my favorite Tom Petty songs. It's from the early 80s. I mean, he had the great album in 89, Full Moon Fever. You know, that was a great album too. I mean, I could pick a lot of songs from that. Then something else which doesn't really fit here, because, you know, it's not so much this techno pop. You know, this is more rock. It's a song by the group Heart, the Wilson sisters, and it's the song called Never. Never just may be my favorite Heart song these days, or maybe always. So Never, Heart. Now on this list, I hope I didn't miss anything. I also have Twilight Zone, song from 1982, I think, went into 83, and, you know, carries over. Twilight Zone by Golden Earring. And I think I said Voices Carry. I think I pretty much covered everything. Well, anyway, this was just a half-assed type of video the way it came out, but anyway, Adam wanted to make this for you. I said I was going to get around to it. So the 80s really were a great time for me, you know, at least, you know, I should say the early 80s I had a great time. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching, everybody. No, I'm stuttering the words today.